Ladies, we need to talk. There's one small spot that almost every one of us, especially as we get older, completely forget about when it comes to hygiene. It's not behind your knees, not under your arms, not even your feet. And yet, it's the #1 reason behind something no one wants to talk about. Senior smell. You know what I mean? That distinct, musty scent that people quietly associate with aging. If you've ever noticed someone step back during a hug, or family members offering shorter embraces, this might be why. But don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what causes it, how to prevent it, and how to feel fresh and confident again every single day. Let's get into it. 1. The truth about old person smell. Let's be honest with each other. We've all heard that term before. Old people smell. Some whisper it. Others say it out loud. Usually younger folks who think it'll never happen to them. But here's the truth nobody really talks about. It's real. And it's not just because someone skips showers. It's far more complicated and fascinating than that. See, as we age, our bodies change in ways no one warns us about. They tell you about wrinkles, gray hair, and aching joints, but no one pulls you aside and says, "Honey, your natural scent is going to change too." Our skin, which once naturally balanced itself, starts producing less oil. That oil used to protect us, moisturize us, and carry away some dirt and bacteria. But now it slows down. Dead skin cells don't shed as easily. They sit there, especially in those warm, hidden corners of our body. Even more interesting, researchers at the nonenal Chemical Senses Center discovered that around age 40, our bodies start producing a compound called nonenal. You've probably never heard of it, but you've definitely smelled it. It has a distinct greasy, musty odor that's unique to older adults. Here's the kicker. Your usual soap and water routine barely touches it. You can scrub yourself raw, but if you're missing the right spots or not using the proper technique, that scent clings to you. It sticks to your clothes, your pillowcases, even your favorite chair. You don't smell it because you're used to it, a phenomenon scientists call olfactory fatigue, but others do. That's why today's video matters, because understanding gives you power. The power to change it, fix it, and make sure you're not the one people discreetly step away from in the checkout line. 2. Why seniors are more prone to body odor changes. Now let me explain something most doctors won't even tell you. Why this happens specifically as we get older. Why doesn't the 25-year-old down the street smell this way, no matter how sweaty he gets mowing the lawn? It's all biological, and it sneaks up on us. Our skin, which used to shed old cells easily, stops turning over as quickly. Instead of those cells naturally falling off, they hang around. And they don't just sit there. They mix with sweat, oils, and pollutants from the air, creating a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Then there's that compound I mentioned, nonenal. Our bodies didn't produce this when we were younger. Studies from Japan's Shiseido Research Center show it starts appearing in our 40s and 50s. It's produced when our skin's fatty acids oxidize. Essentially, the oils on our skin break down over time due to oxygen exposure. Here's where it gets tricky. This compound has a distinctive smell. Some describe it as greasy, others say musty or grassy. But one thing's for sure, it's persistent. Perfumes might mask it temporarily, but they don't remove it. In fact, sometimes they mix with it and make it worse. And certain areas of our body produce this smell more intensely than others. Places where skin rubs together, forms folds, or simply doesn't get much airflow. You might be thinking under the arms or between the legs, and you're right. But there's one spot almost everyone forgets, and it's the worst offender of all. 3. The spot everyone misses. Behind the ears. Alright, now let me finally reveal it. The one spot that almost every senior forgets. Behind the ears. Sounds too simple, doesn't it? But hear me out. I bet you can't remember the last time you really scrubbed back there. Not just a quick splash of water, but actually took your fingers and rubbed behind your ears, right where your jaw meets your neck. That area is the perfect storm for odor development. The skin is thin, the oil glands are active, and because of its shape, sweat and oils collect there without you feeling it. Most of us shampoo our hair and figure the water running down will handle it. But that's not enough. It's not just sweat either. The behind the ear area gathers oils from your scalp, residue from hair products, dead skin cells, and even dust from the environment. Every time you wear earrings, glasses, or even high collars, you're trapping all that against your skin. Since it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But over time, that buildup turns sour. When I first heard this years ago, I didn't believe it either, until I wiped a damp cloth behind my ears one night. The smell was, well, let's just say it was eye-opening. No one had ever told me. The worst part, no one will tell you either. Your family might notice, your friends might notice, but they'll never say, "Hey, did you forget to wash behind your ears?" They'll just quietly pull back from hugs or stop sitting close to you. And that's a heartbreak I wouldn't wish on anyone, especially when the solution is so simple. 4. What happens if you keep ignoring it? What happens if you keep ignoring that spot? Because let's face it, we all have our habits, and changing them isn't easy, especially after decades of doing things a certain way. But here's the truth, and I need you to hear me. If you don't clean behind your ears properly, it turns into what I call a silent stink. You won't notice it because you're used to your own scent, but others will. First, the oils build up. Then bacteria show up and start breaking those oils down. That's where the smell comes from. Bacteria living off the stuff we leave behind. And no amount of perfume, body spray, or scented lotion will fix it. In fact, those products might make it worse, creating a strange sweet and sour smell that's hard to describe but easy to recognize. Over time, this can even affect your skin health. That area gets irritated. You might notice redness, itching, or even small bumps forming behind your ears or down your neck. And if you've ever wondered why your pillow smells a little off, or why the collar of your blouse gets grimy faster than it used to, well, now you know. Worst of all though, it changes how people interact with you. They might not hug you as often. They'll pull back sooner. They might even avoid sitting too close. And it won't be because they don't love you. It's just human nature. One of my closest friends, Margaret from Buffalo, experienced this firsthand. Her grandchildren started giving her quick air hugs instead of their usual tight embraces. No one said anything, but she noticed. It wasn't until her sister finally whispered something to her about checking behind her ears that she realized what was happening. "I was mortified," she told me. "All that time I thought I was doing everything right with my hygiene. But here's the good news. You can fix this. You can reverse it. And I'll tell you exactly how." 5. How to clean it properly. It's easier than you think. All right, ladies, now we're getting to the good part. The solution. And let me reassure you, it's much simpler than you might think. You don't need fancy, expensive cleansers or some new gadget. Just a little attention and consistency. Here's what I recommend. Next time you're in the shower, after you've lathered up your hair and body, take a moment and pay attention to those places you often forget. Behind the ears should be top of your list. Take a little bit of your regular body wash or mild face cleanser. I prefer unscented, gentle formulas for this sensitive area, and gently rub it in with your fingertips. Make small, circular motions, paying special attention to the crease where your ear meets your head. Now, here's the trick. Use warm water to truly rinse. Don't just splash a little water back there. Take your time to really rinse the area thoroughly. You'd be surprised how much soap and residue can stay behind, especially if you've been using hairspray, gel, or even just shampoo. But don't stop there. After you rinse, gently pat the area dry with a soft towel. We all know how important it is to dry off after a shower. But it's especially crucial in areas like behind the ears, where moisture can linger. If you leave it damp, you're just inviting bacteria to start the process all over again. My friend Eleanor from Phoenix added another smart step. Once a week, she uses a cotton ball with witch hazel to gently swipe behind her ears and along her hairline. It removes any lingering oils and makes me feel extra fresh, she says. I've tried it myself, and it works wonderfully. Finally, remember, this isn't just a one-time fix. You need to make it part of your regular routine. It only takes seconds, but those seconds make all the difference in how you feel and how you smell. If you're thinking, how could something so simple make such a big difference? Trust me, I wondered the same thing until I tried it. The results will speak for themselves. 6. Other commonly missed spots you should check. Since we're talking about forgotten places, let me tell you about a few other spots that tend to be overlooked. Areas that can also contribute to that same musty, uncomfortable smell. First, under the breasts. I know some of you might be thinking, oh, I'm fine there. But trust me, I've seen it time and again. Skin folds under the breasts, especially for larger chests, can collect sweat, oils, and dead skin cells. The trick is to dry under there thoroughly and even use a little bit of cornstarch, not talcum powder, to keep things fresh. But don't overdo it. Too much powder can cause irritation. Several of my friends swear by cotton bras with no underwire for better airflow. Next are the belly folds. These areas tend to trap moisture too, especially if you're someone with a fuller midsection. It's the same story. Sweat and oils build up, creating a haven for bacteria. Just like with your chest, after washing, take a moment to make sure the area is completely dry. You might want to pay extra attention during hot weather or after physical activity. And don't forget between the toes. I know it seems obvious, but when was the last time you really scrubbed between each toe? It's an area where sweat builds up, especially in shoes that don't breathe well. My buddy Richard from Chicago had persistent foot odor until his podiatrist taught him to use a washcloth to clean between each toe every day. It was such a small change back when he told me, but it made all the difference in the world. Finally, consider the back of your knees and elbows. These spots don't rub against clothes constantly, but they do collect sweat and oils. Make sure they're getting the attention they deserve. All these areas have something in common. They're easy to miss, but simple to fix. Just a few extra seconds of attention during your regular routine can eliminate problems you might not even realize you have. 7. The benefits, confidence, and dignity. I know this sounds like a lot of attention to detail, but trust me, it pays off enormously. Once you start paying attention to these spots, and specifically behind your ears, something wonderful happens. You feel fresh again. You don't feel like you're walking around with a secret that everyone else knows. You know that feeling when you've just showered and you're clean. But it's that extra boost of confidence that comes from knowing you've taken care of even the things no one else would think of. That's the secret I'm giving you today. It's not just about hygiene. It's about self-respect. You deserve to feel good about yourself. And as we age, that self-respect becomes even more important. How we present ourselves, how we feel in our own skin. That's what matters. Let me tell you, when you don't have to worry about smelling like an old person, you'll start walking a little taller. You'll feel more confident when you go out. You'll feel more like yourself. You won't have to second-guess hugs from friends or family. And more than anything, you'll feel proud because you're showing the world that age doesn't define you, and neither does any unpleasant odor. I know from personal experience that it works. Once I started paying attention to these small areas, I felt like I had more control over my life, my appearance, and how others perceived me. You deserve that control too. Here's something we don't often think about. Our children and grandchildren need this information too. Not right away perhaps, but eventually. I'm not saying we need to run around giving hygiene lessons, but these little tips are just as important for them as they are for us. It's funny, you know. When we get older, we're often looked after by the younger generation. And while we're busy worrying about ourselves, sometimes they're missing these little hygiene habits too. We all get busy, right? But teaching our loved ones to take care of their bodies can help everyone feel more confident and fresh. It doesn't matter whether they're in their 30s or 50s. They could be missing some of the same spots. So instead of waiting for someone to tell you, why not be the one to share the wisdom? Teach them how to clean behind their ears. Show them how to dry properly after showers. Pass on your newfound knowledge. It's like a gift, an ongoing legacy of good habits, and you'll be proud knowing you help them keep their freshness and confidence too. Ladies, I hope this opened your eyes because I know it did for me when I first learned about it. Don't let something so simple affect how people remember you or interact with you. I'd love to hear your experiences. Have you ever heard about the behind the ears trick before? Or was this new to you? Drop a comment below. Sharing our wisdom helps us all age with dignity and confidence. If you found this helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more practical tips like these. I've been around the block a few times and I'm happy to share what I've learned along the way. Remember, staying fresh isn't just about smelling good. It's about feeling good in your own skin at any age. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.